data out this morning from Nanos research that finds trade negotiations with the U.S. remain a top issue for voters. But that's not the only finding from Nanos. Joining me now is Nik Nanos, the founder and chief data scientist at Nanos Research. Nik, good morning. Always great to see you. So, don't keep us in suspense. What are the top priority issues for Canadians at this moment?
Well, in the CTV News survey that we just released, we asked them about top priorities for the House of Commons for 2026. And at the top of the list was cost of living at around 26%, followed by jobs and trade with the U.S. tied in second, followed by healthcare. You know, the interesting thing, Marcia, is that two of these factors are up significantly compared to when we last asked this question back in August 2023. Jobs is up 13 points since 2023. U.S. trade in 2023, you know what, Marcia? It was zero because no one was worried about U.S. trade before Donald Trump was elected president. And so that's gone from 0 to 17%. But, you know, those two top issues, cost of living and jobs, speaks to the pressure that Canadians are under and the worry they are in terms of not just their jobs, but how they're going to pay for things like groceries and housing.
So you also asked Canadians about MPs crossing the floor, which is something that we have seen recently. What did Canadians have to say about that? What did you find?
Well, you know, we tested in the CTV News Nanos survey on 3 different options. What should an MP do if they resigned? One of the options was step down and have a by-election. Another one would be like, it's okay to do so. And the third was to sit as an independent. Check out the numbers, Marcia. You can see basically it is an absolute statistical tie between those 3. It's kind of like Canadians nationally, at least, can't decide on what should happen when an MP steps down. However, there's some significant regional variations. If you are from the province of Quebec, you know, the national number for sitting as an independent is 31. In Quebec, it jumps to 46%. The other interesting thing is if you happen to live in Atlantic Canada or British Columbia, the 2 coasts, 2 of the 3 coasts, you are much more likely to say, hey, it's okay for someone to resign from one party and cross the floor to join another, while the resignation and by-election appetite was higher in the prairies in Ontario. So there are some major regional divisions and disagreements on what should happen when an MP decides to leave their party that they were elected under.
That is so interesting. You got to wonder why.
I think a lot of that has to do with reasons people vote. And you know what, Marcia? The reasons people vote for a particular candidate in a local federal riding are different. Some people are voting for the local candidate. Others are voting for the leader. Others are voting for the party. So just think of it this way. If you're voting based on party and you see that your local MP that was elected because you happen to support them decides to change teams, you are ripping mad, right?
Yeah.
About them kind of deciding to cross the floor. So, you know, the reason why this is such a mixed bag is because Canadians have different vote motivators ranging from party, local candidate to leader.
Very interesting. Nik Nanos, he is the founder and chief data scientist at Nanos Research. Appreciate seeing you this morning. We'll talk to you again soon.